So I was out driving around last night. I did Uber for about 6 hours. I went out, I guess, probably at 8 o'clock at night, and I worked until, I don't know, about 2 in the morning. But I found myself with a little break right around the time Trina was supposed to be going to bed. She has to get up and go to work this morning. So I called her to say goodnight, and just kind of matter-of-factly, she asked me, "How you doing? How do you feel?" And without even giving it a lot of thought, I responded, "Oh, I'm doing well. I feel better." And she accepted that and said she was happy to hear it. We said our goodnights. I said, "I love you." She went to bed. Over the next hour or so, maybe even less time than that, next half hour, 45 minutes, I was driving around, and it occurred to me that physically I wasn't doing better. My arm was as uncomfortable, if not more uncomfortable than it had been all week. It hurt as much, if not more, than it had hurt all week. But it was undeniable that I did actually feel better. You know, I said it, I was right, I did feel better. I was in a better mood, I was in better spirits. And I started questioning that. Like, well, why is that? You know, my arm hurts as much as it's hurt. It's as uncomfortable as it's ever been uncomfortable since the accident. But it was, as I said, it was undeniable that I was certainly in better spirits. I was feeling better. So as I was kind of doing an audit of the entire conversation and the way I felt about the matter, it occurred to me that for the first time in 6 days, even though it was physically just as uncomfortable, if not more uncomfortable than I'd been since the accident, for the first time in 6 days, I was actually producing. I was doing something. I was happening to the day as opposed to sitting on the couch in the dark letting the day happen to me. All I've been doing for 6 days is consuming. Consuming too many calories, spending money I didn't have, spending money I certainly wasn't out making. I was just a consumer. And even though it was physically uncomfortable to go out and produce, albeit not much, it was an Uber and it was a slow night at that, I was doing something. I finally got off my ass, got off the couch, got out, and started doing something. I had been sitting on the couch for 6 days, just, well, the word I like to use is wallowing. I was just wallowing in it. Oh, I'm too hurt. Go get me food. I'm too hurt. I can't go out and walk 2 miles, which is what I'm going to be doing within minutes of finishing this talk. That I'm going to go out and walk 2 miles. If I can get a little light 13 and a half minute mile jog for a couple of 100 feet and throw that in there without this jostling too much, I'm probably even going to try to do that. But I'm telling you, that wouldn't be happening had last night not have happened. If I finally hadn't have had it, I cannot sit on this couch in the dark, playing on my phone, watching bad movies, and wallowing in my own self-pity. What I'm about to do certainly wouldn't be happening. You know, progress begets progress. That small step last night is about to evolve into even a bigger step towards getting back in shape, getting my arm, getting some mobility in my arm, getting back to exercising, getting back to doing what I do. It started last night, and it's going to happen today. It's going to get a little bit better today, and I anticipate that it'll get better each day. I can't tell you with any certainty that it's not going to hurt as much. I certainly can't do that. In fact, I envision that the first time walking more than 2 blocks since the accident probably is not going to be entirely comfortable. But yeah, I do feel that it's necessary. It's certainly something that I need to do, and I learned that last night. You know, it didn't start out with much. It doesn't have to start out with much, but I started with a step. I took a step last night. I'm going to take several more steps today, and I envision that that's going to evolve into even more steps as the week goes on. Getting back on a bike, start putting down some mileage, doing what it is that I love to do. So, you know, it really struck me that one small step out the door to go do 6 hours of really just very trivial, not important work, but it is work, and it was important to me. You know, there was another meaning. Yeah, I went out and made a few bucks instead of spending. That was great. You know, financially, or I should say fiscally speaking, that was probably a move in the right direction. But more than that, the fact that I actually went out and did something that I was entirely uncomfortable with doing has led me to believe that I can go out and do even more today. I'm certainly not comfortable with the idea of walking 2 miles. You know, it really is painful just walking from the couch to the kitchen. But I've done way too much walking from the couch to the kitchen. It's not benefiting me at all. A 2-mile walk, maybe a few steps here and there of a light jog thrown in, is going to be entirely more beneficial to me than sitting in that house wallowing, which is what I've been doing for 6 days. So just wanted to give you an update. Physically, I would have to report that I'm roughly the same. Roughly the same. Not much has improved. And every doctor I've talked to, all the research I've done, Dr. Google, everybody suggests it's going to be somewhere between 6 to 8, even as much as 10 weeks before I feel good again. And that's fine. I believe that they're probably right. Physically, it's going to take that amount of time. What I couldn't tolerate anymore is the way this thing was making me feel mentally. I felt inept. I felt inadequate. I just felt like I was sitting around wallowing in the mire. And in my mind, it was doing even more damage than the pain is doing on a day-to-day basis. So I got up, I got out. Progress begets progress. I'm about to get out again, and I envision that pattern is going to continue and grow over the next 2, 3, 4 weeks. You know, I'm not going to be doing cartwheels. You know, probably pull-ups aren't in my future for the next 3 weeks. I'm not going to be so ambitious that I go out and retard my healing. You know, I can tell the difference between aching and sore and acute pain. You know, certainly if I feel anything acute, I'll stop, come home. I'm not going to re-injure it. There's a difference between an aches and pains and an acute injury, and I know that difference. So I'm certainly going to stay well within the parameters of aching as opposed to injuring. But that's my plan. Last night was not a physical breakthrough for me. Don't feel any better physically today than I did yesterday. But mentally, I had a huge breakthrough. And it was preceded, the breakthrough was preceded by my frustration finally saying, I've had it. I've had it with sitting on this couch while. It started with a decision. And the decision was, I am not going to sit on this couch in this living room, in a dark room, playing on the computer, watching horrible movies, and just wallowing in my own pain. So I made a decision to get up, go out, do something. I'm making that decision today. And like I said, I envision I'm going to make it every day for the next week, and it hopefully will progress. So that's it. I like to kind of report in. I'm trying to work on this YouTube channel of mine, put more content on it. I enjoy it. So that's it. As far as the injury update, not much has changed. It's not really any different than it has been for the past 7 days. But mentally, I am literally leaps and bounds ahead of where I was just 24 hours ago. And it all started with one simple decision. I could not wallow for one more minute. So that's it. That's the update. Physically the same, mentally light years ahead of where I was 24 hours ago. I don't know if it helped me. Hope maybe talking about this will help you. I hope so. It took me 7 days to get there. You know, maybe if I would have watched somebody or listened to somebody or heard somebody tell me, although I've heard it in the past, but had somebody on a video or on a tape or in a book or a person point at me and say, you're wallowing, get up, get out. Maybe that would have helped. I don't know. But at any point, just my level of frustration, it took 6 days, but that's what put me there. I made a decision. No more wallowing. So, just wanted to check in. I enjoy doing this. Hopefully, the 1 or 2 of you that will watch this actually enjoy hearing it. And, I'll check in again, let you know how things are going.